Danger Dolan. From children's games with a moment of unexpected horror to entire games made from distilled nightmares designed to lure you in with apparent cuteness, can 15 cute games that are actually terrifying.
Number 15.
Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbarossa's Treasure. This is a kids game through and through. You play through the point and click solving puzzles and conversing with cute animals. That is until you reach a certain puzzle where there's a statue of a girl in front of a basin. You search for the item you need to complete the puzzle, which turns out to be a chain you need to pull on. And once you pull on it, the girl's eyes open, not unlike a ghost from Japanese horror movie, and then starts crying blood and screaming like a mortally wounded child.
Number 14.
Pokemon Red and Blue. Almost every gamer that grew up in the 90s played the hell out of Pokemon, collected the TCG cards and watched the accompanying kids show. But when you go back to play the games as an adult, you notice things that don't quite sit right. Cubone wearing the skull of its dead mother, and the fact that one of your rivals' Pokemon died. And that's not all. Lavender Town was already creepy enough as a kid, but as an adult, the ghosts are somehow even creepier. Not to mention the fact that the people of Lavender Town thought it was a good idea to turn a Pokemon graveyard into a radio tower.
Number 13.
Nobi Nobi Boy, a fantastical, cute, if not a little weird land that's very obviously made by the same person that made Katarami Damacy. The boy stretches himself out to devour anything in his path, including people, animals, trees, and buildings. Pretty much anything that isn't the ground beneath his feet. Of course, the boy isn't satisfied with just consuming everything on Earth. He gives the leftovers of his feet to the girl who allows him to visit other planets and eat everything in the solar system.
Number 12.
My Little Baby 3D, a game where you care for a baby on the 3DS. You couldn't make a more benign game concept than that. You give the baby food, teach it to talk, bathe it, everything a good mother would do. Of course, there's one factor that the developers didn't properly account for, or more accurately, the art team. The babies sit right at the bottom of the uncanny valley. Their faces haunt the dreams of deranged psychopaths that feel the need to burn the house down in an attempt to rid their memories of the unsettling humanoid monsters.
Number 11.
Cookie Clicker, an innocent Skinner box game that involves clicking to make cookies that help you get facilities and helpers so you can make more cookies. Basically a time-wasting game that advances quickly enough to keep you interested, something to play at work when you have nothing better to do. Except once you reach a certain point, the grandmas you hired to help make cookies turn into abominations of nature that secrete cookies and sugar and threaten entire cities to get what they want. You also end up rewriting the laws of physics by turning almost every atom in existence into a cookie. Which started as an innocent quest to create a cookie company ends in the destruction of the universe.
Number 10.
Super Mario 64. Mario is the pinnacle of family-friendly fun. The scariest thing you find in the 2D Mario games is the sun, which still isn't all that creepy. Of course, that excludes the 64 title, where Mario must battle giant eyeballs, a ferocious eel 10 times the size of Mario, and a piano with teeth. Even levels that have no creepy enemies are unsettling thanks to the off-putting landscape and music, such as Hazy Maze Cave.
Number 9.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The game starts with the dream of the big bad, but apart from that, the first 3 dungeons and all that's in between is a fairy tale-esque adventure to save the world from the villain. After that, however, you're trapped in time for 7 years, and Ganondorf has turned the happy town of Hyrule Castle into a rundown remnant with all the inhabitants turned into vampiric zombies. Then comes the Shadow Temple and the dungeon under the well where you find horrific creatures whose creepiness is only enhanced by their low polygon makeup.
Number 8.
Cave Story. You're a happy looking robot that wakes up in a cave with no idea how you got there. You leave the cave, carefully avoiding the spikes to find a village of mimigas, rabbit looking creatures that need your help. The innocent mimigas turn into mindless monsters that only wish to kill once exposed to some red flowers brought in by the bad guy. Eventually, in order to make things right, you have to delve into the depths of hell and face off aberrations of all that is good and right in order to save the day.
Number 7.
GirlsGoGames.com. This website with many different Disney-inspired flash games where you play dress up and the like with princesses. Nothing weird yet, until you find the dentist games where the Disney princesses are crying profusely, have black teeth and holes in each of the white ones. How do you fix these problems? You take out the poor sod's teeth and replace them with false teeth. Nothing terrifying here. Nope, definitely not.
Number 6.
The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. What can I say? This game is dark, incredibly so. The entire world will end in 3 days and you're the only one that can save the day. Which, to be fair, you do save it in the end, so what's so dark about Majora's Mask? Well, is the fact that many people throughout the world are struggling to come to terms with the end. An older sister puts on a brave face for a younger sister, and a man curls up cowering in the corner of his house, unable to move thanks to his crippling fear. Then there's the mask sequences that seem inspired by horror movies. Link screams as the mask forces him into a shape that isn't his own, a sacrifice necessary for him to save the world that isn't even his own. There's many more reasons, but to cover them all would require an entire video of its own.
Number 5.
Space Station Silicon Valley. He plays a microchip named Evo, takes control of various goofy looking animal robots in a cheerful looking space station. As you progress through the game, you'll learn that the robots rebelled against the humans and have taken over the space station for themselves. That's not all. One of the main collectives is to find the many different severed human heads strewn throughout the space station.
Number 4.
Earthbound Mother 2. Apart from the last boss, this game is full of quirkiness and humour. You battle enemies using psychic powers and your baseball bat. Enemies are cartoonish and your allies are happy-go-lucky. Of course, the last boss is an eldritch abomination that has an appearance somewhere between a screaming face, a surreal ghost, and a fetus. How do you defeat it? Using the powers and abilities you gain throughout your journey? Nope, they're useless. All you can do is pray and listen to its dialogue that includes disturbing things like, "It hurts. It feels good."
Number 3.
Ecco the Dolphin. You play as a friendly dolphin searching for his family. Echo battles aliens, can time travel, and has a telepathic strand of DNA as a friend. Cute, right? The dolphin has no place in the deep sea. Dolphins need air, so throughout the game it gets harder and harder to find enough air to keep Echo from drowning. After you go far enough down, you reach the dark and foreboding depths of the sea, and you come across the last boss, which is an eldritch horror from beyond the earth that you need to kill via gradual mutilation.
Number 2.
Spooky's House of Jumpscares. It's a horror game, but it definitely belongs in this list. The game starts out cute, as if it were a kid's version of a horror game. For the most part, the jump scares aren't even that scary. Of course, as you get further, the true horror emerges, with specimens that have art designs which are both uncanny and legitimately horrifying. The specimen designs don't scare you. The supposedly friendly, cutesy looking ghost Spooky certainly will, when she gleefully murders numerous people in a minigame.
Number 1.
Aversion. You play as a happy looking muffin thing called ZT, who's on a quest to save the princess. ZT's special power is the ability to swap between realities to get past platforms, enemies, and puzzles. As you progress through the game, the environments get darker and more twisted. Bright landscapes get replaced with faded, macabre landscapes that don't look out of place in a depiction of hell. Unless you read a guide or you're extremely lucky, this game does not end with smiles and rainbows. You will reach the princess only to find a monstrosity with jagged white teeth and a backdrop of ominous red eyes. Fade to black, game over. That's it for this countdown, and have a good one!